I'm sure fucking turn on the banana.
Oh.
People would have been pissed again.
People would have been mad.
It looks so dark.
The banana is weirdly bright. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Large Lads, the largest show in all of history, with your hosts, Megalodon Max and Spinosaurus Sam.
Have we done that one?
Fuck, are we?
I think we might have. That's good. Let's keep now. We got to keep rolling.
I was going to say, because now I've got to remember in Caveman Claw.
Awesome. I don't think you did Caveman Clawing. You must have done something else.
Okay.
I feel like we've done this one, though.
Hey, you know, we're going to have hundreds of episodes of this series. We're going to have some repeats.
We're going to have some fucking repeats.
Oh, we're missing Kirsten today.
Yep. Kirsten decided you want to make some pancakes.
Stinker episode. Bro's wandering the streets looking for hookers.
Kirsten is wandering off in the. It's 9 at night. Kirsten's wandering, looking for women of the night. In our small town in Montana, they're hard to find.
Very, very hard to find.
Kirsten does carry the cast. She's significantly funnier than you and I are. So
Guaranteed wacky energy, too.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we come in on stinker energy.
true.
So-
Guaranteed wacky energy.
We've been training together, brother.
Yeah.
And my training's going fucking awesome.
Yeah, it is going real good.
I think I waited the full 15 seconds to say fuck.
I immediately fixed your bench up real quick.
And also, I feel like I fixed my squat. So we're on cruise control on all
Yeah, I
three right
fixed
now.
your deadlift. I fixed your bench press. And I'll give you credit. You fixed your squat.
Yeah. One of the biggest changes, really funny, was just bucking the conventional wisdom of having your shin vertical on deadlifts. That's the worst cue in the fucking world.
I see a lot of lifters, and I think there's a lot more harm than good. Even if, we've seen, even if you, by the time the weight's actually cracking off the floor, your shin is more vertical, unless you have comically good leverages, getting into, like, having your knees pushed a little forward, at least even dynamically to start, lets you lock in your mid-back a little bit more. Because I remember, as a guy with bad leverages, I was always told, shin vertical, shin vertical, shin vertical. And I was like, Jesus, man, there is no cue more potent for making my deadlift feel like it's nothing but lower back than trying to keep my shin vertical. And I was like,
There's almost no cues that I feel like I'm like, that's just a bad cue. I think shins vertical is a bad cue for the most part.
Yeah, I do think it does a lot of harm to guys because you see it's like, it is used by guys with fantastic leverages and really hinge heavy pulls like Andy Bolton. Certainly not going to tell Andy Bolton he's wrong, but on average, I see guys in the gym and they just don't have the room to even get into their start position.
Yeah.
And just pushing your knee forward. Sure, it's not going to stay forward, but pushing your knee forward gives you the room to actually get into your start position.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I was going down the classic technique route where when my shins were already going super far forward, getting more of a forward torso lean was a good correction. Mm-hmm. And then I lost my knees forward. And so I just kept getting to an uglier and uglier, like, this is the cue that's been working. Like thinking like this is just the cue that works for my deadlift is the torso far forward.
Exactly,
but it only
a little
worked
bit of
when
a
I
good
was
thing.
cartoonishly stuffing my knees through. And then when I stopped doing that, my pull kept getting worse. And I kept like banging the exact same drum, thinking like, one of these days, it's just going to start clicking again.
Yeah.
And they're like, dude, just slide your knees through it. And I was like, oh, God damn it. What have I been doing for the last 6 months? What a fucking waste.
Real rats eat seeds, by the way.
It is very rat-like behavior to have just a pile of giant seeds.
They got a ton of magnesium in them, you know that?
I did not.
Pumpkin seeds, tons of magnesium.
Your love for like wacky foods and their novel benefits is so wholesome to me.
Yeah, they're like seaweed being like a great source of iodine.
Just picking up a random, just like, this is my food of the month.
It gives you lots of good iodine.
I told Nita your like various hand training is a really awesome one.
Yes, I'm trying to get very strong like this thumb pad. I'm gonna get huge from getting so good at pinching shit.
Enormous thumb pad.
I actually hurt my thumb benching because I twist into the bar so much that it like kind of separates out my shoulder, but that not my shoulder, separates out my thumb, but that lets me get the bar real low in my hand. And man, my body is still getting used to benching being a high priority.
One of our all-time great training partners, Jasper, has an awesome one.
Jasper is a legendary figure that we haven't told you guys very much. Jasper is a pro strongman that I coach that is just the most jolly man you will ever meet in your life.
Mythic figure. I remember one of the first times I met him, he was like, oh, haha, I've got deadlifts today, but we'll see how it goes. And pulled up his short and clearly had like torn his hamstring, like purple, and pulled 700 that day. And I've seen him tear his hamstring probably 4 times in person.
Yes.
Like when we were like, we all trained together for like 2 summers.
Yeah.
And it was like, man, Jasper, you gotta stop tearing your hamstring. And he'd always like, dopey, a little extra rehab. And he just kept getting stronger despite constantly tearing his hamstring. And one time, Sam jammed his thumb, and Jasper went, ugh, I'd quit if I did that. And I was like, Jasper, I've seen you detach a muscle from your body. What are you talking about? Jamming your thumb would be the thing to cause you to quit.
Jasper will just do a deadlift. Like, oh, but I just tore my hamstring in. But somehow me bending my thumb, he's like, dude, I would retire instantly. I would never lift weights again.
He got like shivers. He was like, oh.
That was so funny. That shook him to his core. And I was like, Jasper, I have seen you giggle about tearing muscles. What are your thumbs?
Yeah, thumbs that make or break. Jasper's also one of those guys with a zero sports background. I was like, oh man, like what'd you do before powerlifting?
That's not true.
He said World of Warcraft is what he did before powerlifting.
I was going to say, he said he played a lot of OG RuneScape. That's a sporting background. I produced Jasper Haney and John Hack and many other good lifters. That's the best base for lifting.
And then I got one more Jasper story. Yep. I actually have so many. Huge shout out Jasper. I love Jasper.
Yeah, during lockdown, he was coming to train in our garage.
Yeah, dude, he just like fucking hung out all day. It was so cool.
That was awesome.
He was just getting paid out from his engineering job. Just came and hung out in our fucking garage.
Those were good times.
I remember I started going to a gym in Tacoma that Jasper was going to, and Jasper being like a little fucking dickhead.
No, that was up north.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, did I say Tacoma?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was up in Kirkland, not Kirkland.
Something like that.
Yeah. So wherever, somewhere in Washington. And Jasper was going to the same gym, and Jasper was like a jolly dude. We had like a kind of like a shit talking rivalry because he was a cool guy that were like roughly the same strength level. And Jasper just started doing my sessions at plus 5 pounds every day, and just ended up doing your program because of that because he was doing it so. Yeah. Like I job like back when
I started coaching Jasper.
I was like, I'm doing 550 for 5. I'm like, I'll do 560 for 5. He just like accidentally peaked into like he was like, man, I got a lot stronger, and he hired me like the next month. I was like, it's so funny to accidentally do a program.
I love Jasper, man. He's the man.
Yeah, much love to Jasper.
I was gonna say, you know how everybody at the gym usually thinks you're a raging dickhead asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I once again have had to realize this. So we went to the gym in the town the other day, and I was like, man, people think I'm like an asshole.
Yeah.
They don't think I'm this super socially savvy, fun, quirky guy. It's so weird that people who I've never made a joke to don't think I'm funny.
It's so fun. I keep trying to do PR for you too. I'm like, Max is just in his own world. He's really focused. He takes his lifting really serious. But the way you blow people off when you're trying to focus, I'm like, all right, this might be a little bit steep for me to undo. But
I am more socially awkward than I think. And I am forced to confront that fact on like a monthly basis.
I just choose to believe I'm not.
I had an awesome one at the grocery store. I had a dude be like, dude, holy shit, like you got a Prime, right? And I went, yeah, thank you.
That's awesome.
And he went like, yeah, you're like super strong. And he's like, haha. And I just walked away. And I was like, dude, I'm killing myself in this parking lot. What the fuck was that?
Well, so I brought this up, and I'm like, this has been a thing. And like, usually I try to do PR for you. I think my recent actions have made people at the gym start to think I'm also a dickhead.
Yeah.
Because
you've been trying to copy me and not talk to people, but everyone knows you as like the...
I've just been real tired.
Yeah.
And when I'm tired, I take my training real seriously. I feel like it's really easy to work hard when you're in a good mood.
Yep.
And when you're real tired, you're like, all right, I got to make sure I stay in the right mindset. So I just try to keep my headphones on to stay in the right mindset. But it's like I think it's like the contrast. Because I don't just walk away from people. I don't know who would just turn and walk away from someone mid-sentence.
I don't
know who would do that. That's an insane thing to do to someone.
I'm a nice guy.
Well, but I think the fall off in like how talkative I am, everybody's taking it personal. I'm like, I'm just so tired. Me and Max have been doing some really good training. And if I wasn't tired all the time, that would mean we should be doing more.
Yeah, we started with the classic like overdo and dial back strategy,
yes.
Which for once we didn't just stick to for multiple months. That was awesome.
We did adjust in actually a reasonable
It
period
only took
of time.
us like 3 weeks to be like, shit, are we doing way too much? we started out with a month just going to ham, trying to prove to the other person that we could add more sets. And it took us about a month to like, shit, man, I feel like shit, we went to deload twice.
We were doing a little bit too much.
That was awesome. Just an 8 accessory, everything to failure leg day, like 500 pounds on every motion.
Well, the good thing, right, is like every time we've done this, even like and just like fought like hell to try to keep up with recovery, it's been followed by big PRs.
There's something also productive about like pushing past, because I'm like, you kind of recalibrate yourself to what you can get away with. Because clearly we could do it. Like we ran it for a month. Neither of us got injured. Like it was just like, man, I think I'm unproductively fatigued. That's kind of all that happened. I wish we had done one of our training vlogs for that session.
Yeah.
Because with some fancy editing and me lying on the ground in between sets, monster session, and just be like, that's what our average leg day looks like. We do that twice a week. Typical workout, guys.
It was good for my ego when we first started off Rip, getting to body you on those workouts, because I'm pretty used to overdoing it.
Yeah, God.
Where you were on the floor, I'm like, Max, next exercise to pick up the pace, buddy.
Because on upper days, I was like, man,
Buried.
maybe Sam's not as much of a freak we used to see once was. And the lower days, I was like, fuck, you are in a lot better shape than I am.
Extremely uncool, but pulling you back on how much you were doing was part of why you've suddenly gotten a bunch of bench PRs, is instead of burying yourself and then coming in 2 days later and hitting like a heavily suppressed bench session, it's more trying to prompt good performances across all three of the upper days.
Yeah.
And it sucks because that just requires like leaving with a little bit more gas in the tank. And you kept being like, Max, can it? That's enough on these. Max, go like this, do a little bit less. And you kept being like, really? Really? And then like, I was like, maybe I'm wrong. You're making me second guess myself. And then you've hit like, 6 different rep PRs and a new 1RM on the bench press in the last 2 months?
Coincidence.
2 months?
Coincidence.
2 months, 6 all-time rep PRs and a new 1RM already.
Coincidence.
And you're about to hit another, in 2 weeks, you're about to hit another 1RM PR.
Yeah.
Feel really good about that. Which is funny because this flies in the face of what I had in my notes, which is I was like, me and Max are putting in this good like base building out volume, trying to hit motor patterns that we haven't hit in a while, like just good grindy stuff, right? And it's funny because if you don't follow a training system that involves like deloading every 4th week, big emphasis on 1 to 3 reppers, the only person that knows just how good your training is going is you, because you have a reference for last time you ran this phase.
Yeah.
Like I was going to say we haven't done anything to really show like training is going like insanely well. There hasn't been like a big set that other than your bench, because that's obviously we're taking a different programming strategy on your bench, and that kind of flies.
I'm just constantly doing cool sets. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But in the lower stuff, it's like,
if I posted a week of training, everyone would be like, man, did you get injured?
Yeah.
I think the universe was like, holy shit, this is like the lamest training I've ever seen. And I'm like, dude, everything's firing on all cylinders.
Oh, bro's off cycle.
And I guarantee I can peak to an all-time PR right now. So that helps my ego.
That's the thing, is like, it's so funny because it's like me and Max, we've been training hard. I'm tired all the time. You're tired all the time. We're pushing hard. And on paper, we got nothing to show for it yet, which is kind of interesting. But you and I both know like what our normal volume markers are, and like usually how we perform under this amount of fatigue. And we're like, oh, I'm ready to peak for a PR whenever we end up getting around to it. Like I am in.
My squat is not there right now for sure.
Just because you just took your stance too narrow.
Yeah,
you're gonna come in,
boys. It finally happened.
You're gonna.
I was looking at we're looking at videos. I was like, man, I think I might be too chubby to do this squat stance. And I've never had to have that thought before. At 350 pounds, I'm like, am I too fat?
It's not a flexibility thing.
Super weird because my hips are incredibly mobile.
Yep.
But it seems like there's some meat on meat problem happening in the bottom of my squat.
Yeah.
Could it be that it's my big ass stomach?
Show me your hoodie.
Meat on meat problem.
Buy the merch. It's totally our merch.
Just sell someone else's merch.
You should rip this on. It's awesome.
Also, it's absolutely awesome. My 100% real girlfriend wears such oversized clothes that I can wear to her hoodies.
That's awesome.
She's like 5'4". See the 4XL in dudes.
It's good that the transfer sometimes goes backwards.
Yeah, because she
women
steals
always
all of my
steal.
clothes.
Yeah, women always steal all your oversized hoodie. I'm out of fucking hoodies. I'm gonna steal some back if you buy oversized.
Yeah, you start buying 4XL in dudes or 5XL.
Shit, what was I saying? Oh, but it's gonna be fun, right? Because I've done this a million times, and I think that's also what gets people like biased towards those training systems that involve like more year-round expression. It's because they can't stand having nothing that's like show-off worthy.
Yeah.
Because it's like even some of these things that are like kind of impressive, like some of my split squats and some of my single leg RDLs, they don't do crazy on engagement. So your social media is gonna be dead unless you start doing something else. And it leads people to not want to put in these periods. But if you've done it enough times and you know like you're not missing. This is like, you know exactly what needs to build up, what numbers need to come up. It's so fun to come out of those periods and then just be like rep PR here, rep PR there. It's like those boring 1 to 2 month periods set up the really fun every session's a rep PR periods. And then you just don't run those until you get hurt. You go back, right? I'm like, me and Max are about to come into to a nice chronic rep PRs arc here come soon. And I'm like, I'm pretty jazzed about it.
Obviously, I am 12 years deep into training and like very like warped brain mode, but I'm like nothing to show for it, brother. I'm having a blast. I'm having so much fun training right now. So I'm like, what are you talking about? Nothing to show for it.
Yeah.
Every Wednesday, I'm stoked.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like I'm having a great time, but there's just like no big like sets to.
Yeah, no,
There's nothing to like.
any of my deadlift sets, people would be like, "What are you doing?"
Someone that like follow you and I really casually, they'd be like, "Oh, you guys have been training together for 2 months now." I was expecting like that to be like this level up for you guys. I was like, it is.
We'll see.
It's there.
We'll see.
Don't worry.
We'll see.
Brother, don't do the hand gesture. All right, next
Holy
one.
shit.
Holy shit. Hey, let me get. I hate sometimes when I'm like, oh, I'm going to make an inside reference with the boys and then no one picks up on it.
Yep.
Rough. I was like, oh. I forget there was one I mentioned. Kirsten has been really liking just saying, holy shit, in regards to everything. And for some reason, that shit has rubbed, I don't know where she got it from, has rubbed off on me so bad that I now just reflected like, holy shit. No one's going to like that.
Always suspicious for Kirsten to have a reference with no source.
That is very scary. Kirsten will be like a reference, and I'm like, this might be just like, this might end my career level, like shit that you might be referencing from.
We live in a house with two
Kirsten's-
people who will make references to nothing sometimes. Also, both Kirsten and Anita will sometimes like put on a wacky voice and do a quote. I'm like, what's that from? They're like, me.
Oh,
I just said that.
That was a me quote.
You can't just make a reference to nothing. What are you talking about?
I'm less worried about that. I'm more worried about, I've seen Kirsten's Instagram feed. That shit's insane. What's the chance I'm referencing something I really shouldn't be referencing? Because Kirsten says it. It
Just an
sounds.
extremely wacky like conspiracy inside joke.
I made some diet changes. I thought that was kind of interesting. Your diet stayed more or less the same recently, right?
Potatoes.
Let's go.
I'm also having salmon once a week now.
That's fun. That's good.
I'm also having 3 egg McMuffins for breakfast one morning out of the week.
That's awesome. It's your little tasty treat.
I drive my girlfriend in, so I've got to wake up like 5 in the morning. So I'm like, I feel like I
need a
deserve
reward.
a little 3 egg McMuffins.
A little tasty treat as a reward for what I did.
I will say, Oli, I have been trying to get a one of their like weird like milkshake frappuccino things.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers have been cleaning the machine every morning. What are the odds? I've worked at a McDonald's in high school. We never cleaned that up. I'm gonna go back there and turn it on.
Damn. I would say I've ramped up my carbs, and that's been real good. Take away some other macros to push my carbs even higher. I don't know if it's just like that's a commonality in people with a lot of muscle, but I do just feel better on higher carb diets. I know some people feel way better on like higher fat diets, and that treats their body really well. Every time I've done a higher fat diet, it has felt like I'm dying. And so I was like, what if I really push into the carbs? I even pulled my protein down a little bit to push the carbs higher. I feel fantastic. And it almost feels like it's like I'm taking way more steps. I'm like easily averaging 12K steps every day now on a higher carb intake to where I'm like, this might facilitate weight loss, just giving me more energy to move more than the carbs I add. Right?
Yeah.
So that's been kind of cool. And then I moved my cardio. I do a little cardio every day. And I started doing my my daily zone 2 cardio after the leg days. It wasn't really tiring out my legs, but that way I have like a shakeout at the end of the day to stop my legs from stiffening up so much. Because if I do a walk after like a big leg day and like maybe touch my toes a little bit versus if I just kind of, that was a tough workout and then I couch potato out, oh my God, my hips feel so different. So just like that's 2 birds, 1 stone that I was going to be doing cardio that day anyway. So I moved it to the PM session. Insanely helpful for my recovery.
Interesting. I've been trying to get my like slightly higher intensity walks in, and that's been making me feel way better. It's crazy once you like get into the routine, when you stop doing it, how much worse you feel. Where it's like, I was previously doing a way lower step count. Why does it only now suck when I do a high step count and then stop? Damn, that was the gong bong.
Don't bonk the fucking mic, bro.
Hot take coming in.
Are you going to pick it up? Are you going to pick it up?
Mortifying. Why would you do that to me?
Good job.
Cruel gym leader.
What is your hot take?
Absolutely disconnected from me saying that I'm definitely socially normal.
Uh-huh.
Dude, being a weirdo is deeply anabolic. What is with all of the strongest people being just fucking strange? Dude, strange folks.
I think having weird pride. Dude, I've been saying this for years. Like when people give me like intake forms and I talk to them when I'm like coaching them, being a weird dude is absolutely essential because if you're not a weird dude and you have normal priorities, sooner or later, dumping this much effort and being a little bit tired all the time is not going to make sense. And you're like, well, what if I put this much work into my career? What if I spent this time with my family? What if I exercised to a point that gives me more energy instead of being tired all the time? I was like, those are all questions, but a weirdo doesn't ask those questions. And like every single guy I coach,
a weirdo asks much stranger questions.
They ask really weird questions.
I got some awesome weird dudes in the Rat Pack. They're thriving. They're fucking doing incredible.
The more like Yuri Prohaska weird guy you are about like, this is my craft, the more I've got high hopes for you.
I just like scrolled Instagram and I was like, wow, it seems statistically impossible that this many really good lifters are just so fucking strange.
It's awesome too because it stops everybody from cashing in on getting like unusually strong. Is they're so uncharismatic and strange that they now don't know what to do with it.
It's so awesome. You're like, this new upcoming star, and it's like, whoa, this guy's gonna break into the mainstream, and then you see him talk. It's like holy shit, this guy was raised in a cave. What happened?
The least charismatic weird dude. I like those dudes too. I love their interviews.
It's like my favorite people I've ever met are like dudes who really like strength training and are just fucking weird. I don't know why, because I'm super normal.
Yeah,
I get along great with them.
You know, it's been kind of interesting. Obviously, I was a big Dan Green fanboy coming up.
Yep, still are.
Yeah, very, very much so. And very influential to how I think about a bunch of things. And I always thought it was so interesting that his upper days would have so many, like, it would be like an 8 exercise session. Like pretty normal stuff, very bodybuilding influenced. You could see that he was like, no skinny champions was his old catchphrase, like build muscle, fill out the frame. Most guys need to just put on muscle, put some respect onto the bodybuilding work, get jacked. But his lower body days didn't look at all like leg bodybuilding, right? They were very like 2 to 3 movements for the day with like some lighter kind of touches on some things that he felt he needed to do to stay healthy. But it would always be like a GHD setup, a squat variant, a deadlift variant, and that's it. But then just kind of emptying the tank on those 2 moves. Or it would be like, I did sumo deadlifts from blocks today as my main hinge. And then I did like sets of 20 on, he liked the hack squats, one of the only machines he used. Never leg extensions.
This is so awesome. This was also one of my topics.
Okay.
I was gonna say simple days, because I talked about like maximalism days to like try and solve something.
Yeah.
But we have an extremely, we're 2 extremely,
our lower
extremely
days
simple
are
days.
very minimalist, right? And I was thinking about it. I was like, I always thought that was like the one thing that like that Dan Green was doing it, and I was not. I was always doing like leg extensions and then adductors and
I know I've brought this up before. I remember we were, I think we were like on a road trip or something, and you were like just sitting there like writing in your little like composition notebook, like your plans, and you were like, Max, I've come to a training problem.
Yeah.
I have 16 motions that I need to do on leg day, and I was like, you got to get rid of some. And you're like, I can't. They're all good.
They all do unique good things for
your
your body.
I need to be doing all of them to be gaining all of the benefits.
Once I took that more maximalist number of exercises lens, and I was like, well, wait, Dan Green used to be a weightlifter. Like, what is lower body fundamental training? It's squats and it's pulls. That's what it is. It's squats and pulls. And like you do variations to highlight different things. And maybe you go do some leg extensions afterward if that's good for your knees. Or maybe you do some single leg stuff. That's what keeps your knees healthy. And it's like, everything else is just to support your ability to keep pushing on squats and hinges. And you could see that influence in Dan Green's training. And his thing was always like, well, what if you took Dorian Yates adjacent principles, but then applied them to the power lifts? And you picked variations that built kind of points of leverage, right? Like he always said, if he back squatted all day, his back would just get stronger and stronger and stronger. His quads would fall further and further behind. There needed to be something in there. So he front squatted, like change the point of leverage, but apply these like more high intensity principles. And I was like, I just feel like you're missing out on so much volume from all those accessories. And I think when we were weaker, that was good, that we were always like hopping on the machines. Like Matt Vena's always posting about all of these like ISOs he does afterwards, like pretty rigorous, tons and tons of ISOs after. But because we're not doing sub max on our main lifts, I am pleasantly surprised how I'm still able to feel like I'm progressing in my leg size off of these really minimalist routines.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said about like it's both a combination of skill and also obviously absolute load.
Mm-hmm.
We're like our upper back day is
it's
getting
also style of program.
Yeah,
right. Like obviously, like Ray and Jesus and Dan Bell, they would just do like low volume squats and then run the gambit on a bunch of like ISOs. Right.
Really, the intensity is more spread out to touch a bunch of different things. We've done that. We've had success. We've also we've been running like even our upper back days, like kind of refining to a more simple thing of just like we're gonna do a bunch more sets across that and probably like rotate exercises a little bit more often than if we were running a wider gambit. Like just like we're already touching everything. We don't need to rotate that often because we're already doing fucking 7 lower accessory motions.
Yep.
There may or not be an awesome YouTube video coming out here soon about intensity and biasing your training, but that's been a thought I've been having a lot lately.
Yeah.
Is like how much, oh my God, just like like in choosing like this motion, like dumbbell bench, for example, be like, this is the priority of the day. How much that changes the emphasis of the session, both like in your results and also like how the pacing like goes around, like
versus like an equal emphasis. Like I'm a power builder.
Yeah,
everything is of equal importance. To
like
me.
my curl is as important as my bench, which is as important as my upper back row, right?
Yep.
Where versus like this is my dumbbell bench day. Like you're gonna see a lot more progression on your dumbbell bench if you just like come into it being like, I have to leave today with awesome work done on my dumbbell bench, or that's the failure of the session.
And the role of everything else is to support that movement versus everything is of equal bounce from one to the next. You know,
well,
like
like maybe I won't go quite as hard as my bench today because I've got a really big set on dumbbell bench today.
Yeah,
it's like even if the volume is staying the same, just the way you think about it and like the intensity you bring to it is going to inherently like bias how you like the results you get out of that session. And that's been something I've been thinking about.
Slow down there, speed racer.
Am I going too fast?
You're going a little fast. Didn't people flame you in your comments for that? Talking about that?
Is this dude on drugs or what?
I got the same comments when I was making those like the heaviest front squats ever videos because those went outside my usual audience. So a bunch of people are seeing me for the first time, and there's a bunch of people will be like, "This was a good video, but the commentator talks way too fast. It's like he's scared." I was like, "Fuck you!"
And so I just get nervous talking in front of a camera.
Scared.
So I'm actually we've got to talk.
Yeah, I have really bad anxiety. Sorry, man.
There's an awesome joke in our house right now. My girlfriend came back after she left for work, and so I woke up and she was like looming over me with like a large coat on, and I went, "Hello."
Kirsten's been hitting you with that one all the time. She'll walk out here and be like, "Hello,
hello." I was not scared.
But yeah, this minimalist lower days have been really interesting. Of like, instead of having to save energy to pace through a whole day, right? It's really just there's an ab and then 2 moves, which is like I was kind of noticed with Dan Green stuff. It's like there would be an ab, and you take the ab pretty serious. Like he would go heavy on his GHD sit up. Sometimes there would be like maybe a glute ham raise to get a little knee flexion in there. Sometimes you do like something, but then it would be a squat and a hinge, and he would really like empty, like you got this much battery life, you're spending all of the battery life you plan on spending for the day on those 2 moves. And it's been interesting too because we've been doing like a more varied interpretation of a squat and a hinge on the accessory day.
Very glute dominant because we discovered I have a like insane weakness.
Yeah, so we're placing like even bigger emphasis on strength on one leg, right? Because when you do all of your squatting from this knees out, externally rotated position, you're always getting this great stretch on your adductors. Your adductors get stronger and stronger and stronger. But if you do some stuff with your knees straight forward, you get more length on your glute, and your glutes get really strong. And keeping that balance of like not just getting unbelievably strong in the adductors and never doing anything where the glute is what's at length,
we really
that could
ran
be a
like
problem.
We ran like glute month, and then now we're like it's kind of evening out to be like we have a like slightly more adductor knees out external rotation motion, and then one like a knees in like a lot more glute dominant one.
Yeah, to give people specifics, we were running just like, okay, well, let's take a squat pattern, let's go real heavy on it, but do it on one leg again to get you in that like right in that sagittal plane. So we did like heavy barbell split squats. We started with dumbbells and immediately realized they didn't go heavy enough. And then,
I am a fucking idiot too because I was like, yeah, we've got like a couple weeks, like we've probably got like 6 weeks of progress to make from the 60s to 100s. And Sam went like, let's just grab the 100s next session. I was like, that seems really rowdy, and I got 25 at them, and I was like, cool, all right. I was gonna waste 6 weeks of training, slow progressing to a weight I can already do 25 at. 100%,
right? Well, so we did real heavy on barbell split squats. Like we're going north of 3 plates. And then we also started doing like heavy single leg RDLs where we do those contralateral loads. So weights in the opposite hand so you can reach across, again, kind of get in that more of a knee in position and stretch the glute more. And we did the dumbbell at first, but then we switched to the landmine, which kind of reaches across and is a little bit more stable. We try to get really strong and do tough sets across, just tough straight sets. If you top the reps out, you go up. You don't get to stay the same. You go up. You fail in the range. Not fail, but set ends in the middle of the range. If you're topping the range, fucking go up, right? But once we're like, okay, single leg strength has come along very quickly. We can start mixing in. We're going to do a week is abs, Big sets on the belt squat for more of a quad dominant.
Jump should get first.
Oh, jump should
I'm
get
coming for a big vertical.
our jump conjugate. Some abs, and then it's big, like tough, really heavy, grindy sets on the belt squat, and then single leg RDLs is week A, and then week B is abs. Jump should get the squats are the heavy, big Bulgarian split squats with a bar, and then we're going to do back extensions or maybe belt squat RDL. We're going to do some kind of hinge that we feel is a little bit more hamstring dominant because we have the glute dominant hinge in the single leg RDLs. So the B week is going to be a hamstring dominant hinge. That's been fucking good, right? I look at Dan Garino, it's like, well, not that you should just be like, well, it works this way for an elite lifter, it'll work for me, but he had no problem with leg size. And so far, I see why. I'm like, just fucking emptying the clip on one big squat pattern for the day, if it's well selected, it's not been for, it has not compromised the stimulus to my legs. Every week I've been like, damn, I fucking
It's also we're hitting
my
like
legs.
3 to 4 and sometimes 5 working sets on those. Where it's like instead if we had done 2 sets on a
And
main motion,
sometimes it's 1 or 2.
sometimes we just get awesome work. You know?
Yeah.
I love that we just have like the number of sets is just vibe based.
Well, you just empty the clip on that movement with enough energy for the hinge movement. And then you should be done you should be out of energy at the end, and then you leave.
Yeah, belt squats. We were fine in the weights. Took us 5 sets. Single leg dumbbell RDL or single leg RDLs, 2 sets, and I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, I find these like really minimalist sessions really enjoyable, and I really enjoy them for upper body as well. But I feel like I'm leaving more on the table.
Yeah.
Like you can build out more volume if you do like isolations afterward, break down the lift a little bit, do some press downs and some pec flies after your bench press. It's a good idea. So I kind of get why Dan came to that, like just separate how you think about the lower days and the upper days. The upper days is like this comprehensive bodybuilding work.
Well, we've kind of done that in just, but like it's then like it's kind of more the Matt Venna way, not exactly, but like you have your gambit afterwards, where like we have 2 serious compounds and think of those as like these are our serious compounds today on the pressing motions, and then we go do accessories that are like we're approaching them obviously like different in our training. Whereas before I was doing like 3 to 5 pressing compounds and then like 1 to 2 accessories.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like 1 to 2 pressing compounds and then a shit ton of accessories.
Yep.
So it's kind of a simpler day if you just count like all of the accessories as like and then fluff. And then it's like single joint isos and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
and sometimes we'll
fluff.
pick an accessory that we think is really important and we'll take it above fluff level.
Yeah.
Whereas like that is an outcome for the day that matters. And sometimes it's like you need to remember that the role of this is not that it's its own thing. I think a lot of guys think about like the tricep press downs is its own thing and I need to progress and I want to get strong at these with good form. That's a great way to break it up instead of thinking of it as a supporting cast member.
Yeah.
But sometimes you need to think of it as a supporting cast member, especially when you're late in peak. You're like, what do I need to do these today? Would this support my bench or would this hurt my bench? Which is a funny, obvious question to ask. A lot of people who are good lifters, they've just been like, well, I just do what's there. I just do what's there. I do what's there, right? Like more is better, push hard, push hard. And it's like, you never ask stop asking the question of, is this a good idea for my bench press this week? And sometimes the answer, right, like I've shown you, is like bounce and then bench a better bench day in 2 days. And so that single session was worse technically. Like if you only had 1 session, it would be better to just fucking empty the clip. But if you had 2 and you have 3, you built more quality work across the week. It's more about building quality work across the week than it is about just dying once and then compromising your latter ones.
And I feel like that's kind of the biggest thing that has allowed my training to go really well lately is I was so like head down, get the work done. And I had stopped asking like, is this the correct, like, cause tell me something like being the athlete, I'm not gonna like question the program that often.
Yep.
Like, I think you're one of the better strength coaches in the world. I'm gonna show up and do Sam's like program. Right. But also is but also I am a high level lifter who we've been working together for 10 years.
Yes.
My feedback matters. Right.
Your feedback matters a ton. And I need you to ask like questions, right? Like,
yeah, well, like if I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna do the work. And it's
the
like
day you stop learning,
you need to have thoughts about the work also. Like, is this thing feeling really good? Cool. Maybe we need to invest more into that. Is this feeling awful? Sometimes the answer is cool. We need to stop doing that. Sometimes the answer is like, you need to double into trying to make this feel good. Like, and in that same way, like my squat, I have been kind of beating a drum and I've been like, just like maximal velocity. And I think it got me to a low 800-pound squat, and that's awesome. Yep. And it seems like we're running into a lot of problems that I just need to become a slightly more tactical squatter. But I just kept banging like I'm gonna move the bar faster, and it just did not work at like beyond a certain like total strength mode. Same thing for bench. Like I was just like I'm just gonna do more, and I was racking up these like I've never had an upper body injury super awesome.
Yep.
But it also means I can kind of just do infinite volume, and it just
And
keeps
just
getting
suppress your you were
it
kind
just
of
keeps
like,
getting worse. But
you
it
were
never like
deaf
nothing
to
ever
the
happens.
feedback loop of like, okay, well, the bad thing that happened, like when you do too much deadlifting, you hurt your back.
Yes.
But when you do too much benching, you just then do shitty benching for the rest of the week. But you don't feel that during the session. Like I feel fine. I don't get
could run
aches
like
and
50
pains.
sets of real pressing a week, and it's like it would just be bad.
It's just junk.
Like I don't get any aches and pains. And because I was thinking like I'm a bad bencher, so I need to be doing way more. Like I need to make up for the fact that like I've got slightly longer arms. And I don't actually have that long of arms, but like bench has not come very naturally to me.
Yes.
So like I just need to do a lot of it to get really good at it. And it was just like shit. I was doing a shit ton of benching, and it's not working.
A bunch
so I
of
should
bad
stop
is
doing a
bad.
shit ton of benching.
Yeah.
And you were like, let's just do 2 bench days a week with 6 sets instead of doing fucking 20 sets of bench.
Yep.
And my deadlift, just kept banging the same cues that had led me to success before, instead of being like, are these good cues for me even anymore?
Yep.
And we were just like reworked my cues one day, and it was like, holy shit, I've been deadlifting wrong for genuinely 9 months straight. I think I've just been doing it like chasing a technical model that is not like non-existent. It's like gobbledygook.
It's so funny because everybody thinks your pole still looks good, but it's just a little off in like what you're even trying to do.
Not to be a dickhead, I think I'm a really, really good conventional deadlifter technically. And I have not been, because I've been like I think I've been a very like shitty average conventional deadlifter technique wise, because I've just been like that, like a few percent off, and it's leading to like so much like bleeding force and not using my strengths. And it was just like, god damn it, we just reworked my cues in one day, and suddenly like I'm back to being deadlifter max. That did not make noise. I don't know how.
You know, it's interesting that like ties into like, I think when I see most lifters in the gym, they change things too often.
The camera battery died, but we